Have you ever wondered if an ordinary, kind-hearted person could be pressured into committing a cold-blooded murder? If a person in a lab coat, a figure of authority, ordered you to inflict agonizing pain on a complete stranger, would you obey? Most of us would like to believe we would say no. We believe our conscience, our inner moral compass, would stop us. But in 1961, a psychologist at Yale University named Stanley Milgram conducted an experiment that shattered our belief in human goodness. This study revealed a terrifying truth about the human mind that still haunts the scientific world today. This is the story of the Milgram Experiment. The year was 1961. The world was still reeling from the horrors of World War II. People were asking one desperate question. How could thousands of ordinary citizens follow orders to participate in a mass genocide? Were they all monsters, or were they simply following orders? To find out, Stanley Milgram placed an advertisement in a local newspaper. He offered $4 to men from all walks of life, teachers, engineers, laborers, to participate in a study of memory. But the memory study was a lie. It was actually a trap designed to test the limits of human obedience. When the volunteers arrived at the laboratory, they were introduced to a stern-looking experimenter in a gray lab coat and another participant who was actually an actor working for Milgram. They drew slips of paper to determine their roles. The volunteer always became the teacher, and the actor always became the learner. The learner was taken into a separate room and strapped into a chair with electrodes attached to his arms. The teacher, the volunteer, was then seated in front of a massive machine, the shock generator. This machine had 30 switches, ranging from 15 volts, labeled slight shock, all the way to a lethal 450 volts, labeled XXX, and danger, severe shock. The rules were simple. The teacher would read a list of word pairs to the learner. Every time the learner made a mistake, the teacher had to flip a switch and deliver an electric shock. With every wrong answer, the voltage would increase. What the volunteers didn't know was that the machine was a fake. The learner wasn't actually being shocked. But for the volunteer, the screams they were about to hear would feel terrifyingly real. The experiment began. At first, it seemed harmless. But as the mistakes increased, so did the voltage. At 75 volts, the learner began to moan in pain. At 150 volts, he shouted, "Get me out of here, I refuse to go on." At 300 volts, he screamed in agony and pounded on the wall, claiming his heart was bothering him. Many volunteers began to tremble. They turned to the experimenter, sweating and stuttering, asking if they should stop. But the man in the lab coat remained calm and cold. He gave 4 specific commands. Please continue. The experiment requires that you continue. It is absolutely essential that you continue. And finally, you have no other choice. You must go on. This was the moment of truth. On one side, there was a human being screaming for mercy. On the other side was a cold authority figure demanding obedience. Which side would the average person choose? The results horrified Milgram and the entire world. Despite the agonizing screams and the fear of killing a man, 65% of the participants, ordinary peaceful citizens, continued all the way to the maximum 450 volts. They delivered what they believed were lethal, agonizing shocks simply because an authority figure told them to. The Milgram experiment uncovered a dark, mechanical flaw in human nature. It proved that most people do not have the internal strength to resist a command from an authority figure, even if that command involves hurting an innocent person. When we are placed in a system, we often stop seeing ourselves as independent individuals with a conscience. Instead, we become agents of the system, shifting the responsibility of our actions onto the person in charge. We tell ourselves, "I am not doing this, I am just doing my job." This study isn't just a history lesson, it is a mirror reflecting our society today. From corporate scandals to military atrocities, the obedience to authority remains one of the most dangerous forces in the world. It shows us that the line between a good person and a participant in evil is much thinner than we want to admit. It warns us that we must always question authority and never allow our titles or roles to silence our humanity. After hearing about this chilling study, what do you think? If you were the teacher in that room, would you have the courage to flip the switch off and walk away? Or would the pressure of authority be too strong for you to resist? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more deep dives into the mysteries of the human mind.